And you are listening to The Lunch Break.
Views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this
Thanks,
question.
Valencia.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it?
I got a Grambling guest today, so I was going to wear something else. I got a few more HBCU shirts in, so.
When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the
Okay, I
field,
put those
man.
up there
Guess
because they're in my
what?
shot.
When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like.
I know, but you can be. You can be.
I'm working my way.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
How you doing, sir?
Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now this game is just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It's Throwback Thursday, and got a very special guest. I thought was going to be joining me a little bit later, but he's here now, so we go like we go. It is none other than Willy Gibson Jr. How you doing, sir? How are you on the lunch break today? Can you hear me? And you cannot hear me. All right. Well, we're going to pull him off until he can hear us and can get that back started. Okay. So NBA playoff action back on the court tonight as Boston takes on Miami in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. It'll tip off at 6 p.m. Central live on the Mothership. And, of course, you know Miami took a very exciting Game 1, 117-114, thanks to Jimmy Butler going off in the fourth quarter, and Bam Adebayo with a huge block at the rim on Jason Tatum that secured the win. Again, Game 2 going to be exciting. I was in my feelings last night. I am not going to front and fake it. I was in my feelings last night. I was trying to figure out how the NBA was going to get me all wrapped up in love with this bubble basketball, and then they, on purpose, didn't put a game on last night. They could have played a game last night. They could have played somebody last night. Baby, they could have played the kids or the players last night, and I would have been happy. Don't have me all into these games every night, and then we come up and you ain't got no game on. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward. I'm going to be in front of my TV at 5. 5 o'clock. I'm going to be waiting for the 6 o'clock tip-off. So we'll see that game tonight. Tomorrow night, you got the matchup that nobody thought that they would see unless you were a Denver Nugget. The LA Lakers and the Denver Nuggets in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. That'll tip off at 8 o'clock Central live on TNT. You got some football tonight as well as the Cleveland Browns take on none other than my hometown Cincinnati Bengals. Let me just quit fronting. I got Cincinnati in that all the way. The young kid, Joe Burrow, will get it done for the Bengals. So that's how we're going to start off today. Again, my special guest going to be coming back on as soon as he gets his technical difficulties worked out. And we'll be back with that in just a minute right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
I just have a question. Can you hear me, AJ?
I can hear you. Yes, ma'am.
I just have a question. I was wondering if what are you thinking about the fans not being in the studio? I mean, not being in the stadium for the first time ever at NRG this Sunday? Because I just think that the Texans are going to need all that they can handle for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. I think that, though, if the Texans are worried about the cheering going on in section 601 and 633, they already in trouble. The Texans have got to focus on the Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
They can't be worried about no fans in the stands. They can't be worried about what they didn't do Thursday night. They got a whole situation in front of them. Sunday at 3:30, 3:25 our time, when Lamar, I really can't play quarterback, Jackson comes to town with those Baltimore Ravens.
Well, you know how the Jacksons do it. But I'm just wondering, nationally they got them. They got the Texans with a 7-point deficit.
Yeah, that's probably being generous. Let me look at that real quick. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's probably generous given the fact that the Texans got dog walked last year in this game. What was the final score? 41.
41-7.
I can't count that high sometimes.
Okay,
let me see what I got here.
Basketball score.
You're right. It's a 7-point differential.
Yeah.
I think the Texans will be fortunate if they can keep it within 7. I really do.
I agree.
I really do, because if you let's just,
unless Baltimore is having a bad game,
and that's what can happen. Baltimore, if Baltimore beats Baltimore, Texans got a chance.
I listen to your show all the time, and you say that's why they play the game.
That's why they play the game.
Unless they are having a bad day and then we're having a good day, I'm gonna pick the Texans.
I can't say nothing but ouch and amen when somebody uses my lines against me. I can't say nothing but ouch and amen. But I will say this.
Yes.
Stranger things have happened.
That's right.
It might be 41-7 again.
It could be in the Texans' favor. In 2020, anything goes.
Now you're right about 2020.
That's right.
2020 is doing her own thing.
It's a leap year, and it's the first shall be last, and the last shall be what?
First.
I'm gone.
All right. On that note, appreciate our caller / drop by. That was good stuff right there. If you want to get in, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. As you know, you can text me, 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. We'll be right back with this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones.
We all know Election Day is
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
All right, man, can you hear me now?
Hi, I'm Larry Scott.
Roy, can you hear me now?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Roy, can you hear me?
So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian to Me show, right here on the legendary KYOK radio.
Roy, can you hear me?
And the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
This is Brian Courtney Wilson, and you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Throwback Thursday, and I'm trying to get my special guest on. I can hear you, Roy. Can you hear me? All right, so he can't hear me, so I gotta pull him off, and we gotta try and figure this out. I don't know why on Thursdays when it was the sports fellas we couldn't hear. When it's when our special guest right now we can't hear. again, I can hear you if you can hear me. That's the issue right there. And, again, we got to get that worked out. So let me keep talking about the games tonight and the NBA action for tonight. Again, we got a real good one with that Eastern Conference Finals getting started on last week, or earlier this week, I should say, when Miami got that all-important game one in the series. And again, Jimmy Butler showing that he is a force to be reckoned with. A lot of folks didn't like his, I don't want to say it was his attitude. I don't think they liked his swag, his personality. But now they miss him in Philly. I know they miss him now in Philly. I know they wish they had him back in Philly because they don't have no dogs in Philly right now like they would have had in Jimmy Butler. And I can tell I'm right about it because every time he does something, Joel Embiid is blowing it up and making it a big deal. So, be careful. Be careful for not appreciating what you have. You might miss it one day. All right. So, again, Jimmy Butler did his thing in the fourth, and then Ben Adebayo with a huge block. I mean, you got to play every play as if it's the last play. And whether he goaltended or not, he went up and made a block and made it a chance, gave his team a chance to get the win, and no goaltending was called. No foul was called. It was one of the best defensive plays that we've seen in a long time. So now Miami up on the higher seeded Boston Celtics, 117-114. I'm gonna try this one more time. Let's see if we can get it done one more time. All right, Roy, can you hear me? Roy, can you hear me? Roy, I can see you. Can you do so? Can you try to do something? All right, we're not going to be able to do it. We're not going to be able to do it. And for the person that set it up, you got to call him and let him know he can't hear me, so we can't do the interview unless he wants to call in, and we can try and do it that way. But Roy, you gotta. You obviously can't hear me, and we got to go from there. We got to go from there. All right. Cowboys trying to get their first win of the season. When they take on the Atlanta Falcons. That'll be Sunday at noon. That's going to kick off Sunday at noon. That was my upset special. If you remember me talking with David Grubb and Kelsey Nicole Nelson yesterday, that was my upset special. My upset special was Atlanta coming into Dallas and beating the Cowboys by the score of something close. One of those deals where it is close. I know that's going to look bad on Dak Prescott, but Dak doesn't play defense. I can see Dak having a good game, but the Cowboys defense not being able to handle a better Atlanta Falcons offense than what we saw on last week. I just feel like the Falcons are going to eventually put it together. They got too many weapons for them not to put it together. They've got a franchise quarterback who can make plays. Julio Jones and Ridley and those guys, they can really do some things. I really think that they're going to put some pressure on the Cowboys secondary, and that Cowboys secondary still has a bunch of question marks. So I think that that's going to be an upset special on Sunday. And then, of course, Texans, Baltimore, we'll talk about that later. And then New Orleans and the Las Vegas Raiders, Monday Night Football. I don't know if New Orleans is going to be able to get it done without Michael Thomas. I don't know that. I mean, they were able to beat, the team that they beat the other day, Tampa Bay. But that was partly because Tampa Bay played as poorly as they could on offense. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
This is Roy Gibson.
Hello.
This is Roy Gibson.
Hey, Roy, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I tried to do the video, couldn't get you. I could see you and hear you live, but I guess you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, I could hear you, but for whatever reason, you couldn't hear me through the system. So, again, we had to go to plan B. Roy, tell everybody who you are and, where you're from.
My name is Roy Gibson Jr. I'm originally from way at the bottom of Louisiana, but I live in Shreveport, was living in Shreveport, and right now I'm living in New Jersey.
Okay, so let's flesh that out a little bit. Where in the bottom of Louisiana are you from? Got a lot of Louisiana listeners tuned into the show.
Fort Fushon.
Fort Fushon.
Fort Fushon.
All right, so give me some reference points.
It's in the water, in the Gulf, all the way about 90 to 100 miles southwest of New Orleans.
Okay, all right, I got you. So now watch this. As soon as something comes through the Gulf, y'all get it first.
That's right.
Wow, that's a first for me. I've heard about just about every town in Louisiana, but that's a first for me. How did you get off? How did you get out of the Gulf up to New Jersey?
Oh, family, dad, mom, everybody wanted to, do better, live better, and just took a move.
Yeah, but you out in the Gulf, you moved to New Orleans, you moved to Baton Rouge, you moved to Lake Charles and Lafayette. Y'all went all the way. Y'all kept hitting the gas once y'all hit the mainland, huh?
You sure did. It's a lot of water. It's too much water.
I hear you. I used to live in New Jersey. I lived in East Orange, and I lived in Franklin Park, worked in Piscataway and Bedminster, New Jersey. So I'm familiar with that area as well. What part of New Jersey are you in?
Well, I'm Mansfield.
Okay.
The Livingston area.
Yep. And what are you doing up there nowadays?
Well, right now I'm teaching band music at middle school and a high school here. And prior to that, I was teaching at while I was working, actually doing law enforcement work and security. Okay. You got a very extensive background. For those who don't know, we got Roy Gibson Jr. joining us here on the lunch break, music educator, and he was also associate band director or assistant band director with Grambling, which is why I'm wearing the shirt today. Enough said. That's right.
So tell us about that. I mean, Grambling's band is obviously one of the most phenomenal ones out there. Tell us what that experience was like.
Yeah, it is. I had a chance to march in the band as well back in the 80s. It's a band that's very well put together by Conrad Hutchinson, who had a vision. By the way, Conrad Hutchinson was not actually a music major, but he was a graphic arts designer.
Wow.
And he was a performer. And I know a lot of people know Grambling's colors are black and gold, but he added red because it's flashy for performance-wise. On the field, you can see that flash of red, and it caught people's eye. And he instituted the 8 to 5. Well, they already had 8 to 5 marching, but he perfected it by using 22.5 inches in a step, high step marching. And I don't know if you're familiar with Grambling. Everything they've done is always up tempo. They can play at least 5 songs within 6.5, 7 minutes and be in and off the field.
Yeah.
Conrad Hutchinson, laid that foundation, and Grambling has not gotten away from it. After he left, you had other, few band directors come. Dr. Larry Pennell came and stayed. He was the second longest tenured band director, so I had a chance to work with him, under him, and he kept that tradition going. And they believe in excellence. They believe in character. They clean cut, clean shaven. They stick by military rules, and they always carry a pride of excellence everywhere.
I appreciate you letting us know that insight, because a lot of people like myself go to the Bayou Classic, see Grambling Band, Battle Southern's Band, Labor Day Classic, see TSU's band, Battles, Prairie View's band, and others. Went to the Celebration Bowl this past year and got to see A&T and their band, and North Carolina A&T and their band. And I got to tell you, man, it's just different. A lot of folks see it, but don't understand the military precision behind it, the methodology within it. I guess we got a little glimpse when the movie Drumline came out, but you know it intimately.
Oh yes, firsthand. And it's a lot. And another thing Grambling does, this year they kind of the band is a little bit louder than normal, but they stick to a saying that a marching band is nothing but a glorified concert band, meaning that they, as fast as they march and as high as their legs are, they always focus on a clean sound, and that was Conrad Hutchinson's, that's one of his pet peeves. He want a clean sound, and hard work. And as hard as those band students work, I mean, we work from sun up to sundown, sometimes from 3:30 in the evening, I know, to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, but everybody still maintained great grades. We had excellent grades. And that was another thing with Hutchinson, you had to have good grades, had to.
Yeah. We got Roy Gibson Jr. joining us here on the lunch break. Roy, I got to take a break, but do me a favor, stay right there. We'll come right back with more right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It's Throwback Thursday.
Now is a great time to replace your worn-out windows during the Renewal by Andersen 25-year savings event. Upgrade your home today. Buy 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Plus, get 12 months with no interest, no money down, and no payments. Call now. Get 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Installation and warranty included. Renewal by Andersen takes every CDC-recommended safety precaution to protect your family. For 25 years, people have trusted us for their window replacement needs, and you can too. Call now to learn about our buy 4, get the 5th one free window replacement offer.
800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. That's 800-245-1537.
Interest accrues from date of purchase, but is waived if paid in full within 12 months. Other conditions apply. We've adjusted our operations to serve you safely following all CDC guidelines. Visit renewalbyandersen.com for details.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-417-0851. 800-417-0851. That's 800-417-0851.
My name is Devon McDonald from Jamaica, play with Indianapolis Colts, and listen, you listen to the lunch break.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Throwback Thursday, and got special guest Roy Gibson Jr. joining us here on the show. And Roy, appreciate you making the time for us today. We were talking about the Grambling State Tiger Band, and man, I tell you what, I again, some phenomenal experiences with them at several of the Bayou Classics, and of course, when they come to town to take on TSU and Prairie View and what have you. I've just experienced some amazing things with them. As far as being a band director goes, or assistant band director goes, and the band members working so hard, what was the toughest thing? What was the thing that happened behind the scenes? Not just them staying out there so late, but also them that things that they have to do that most folks wouldn't know unless they're in the band.
Most of it would be their class, like conflict with classes. Most of them are on scholarship. So if they have a scholarship, it's mandatory that they have to be at band practice, or that revokes the contract they have. So some of them have conflicts with their class, and they might have a late class, but yet they want to be at band practice.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Dr. Pennell and other staff members will work something out with them so they can still perform. The other parts that would be extremely hard would be if you have broken down instruments, or you might have a small budget to work with. They only allow so much for you to get instruments repaired. In college band, well, like Grambling, one year we had like 26 tuba players, Super Bowl.
Wow.
and and then you got a section of trombones. There's 30 trumpets, and all those kids, have to have instruments to play. And that's some of the behind the scenes stuff you don't see. They actually give you, just like in the Bible, Jesus had turned water into wine.
Yeah.
They expect you to do that.
Yeah.
With the budgets that you have. And at the same time, and it says this for all educators anyway, even band directors. You're not only a band director, but you have to be a father figure, a grandfather figure, an uncle. Some of those kids have problems. They're coming from all parts of the United States, and they get there at college. You got cultural issues. You got to deal with those. You got ethnical issues. You have to deal with those. And you have to pull them together. And a lot of these kids have never been together, but you have to pull them together to get them to, operate together, to do things together, and to produce one good sound.
Yeah.
Those are behind the scenes issues that you really have.
Yeah, no, I got you. I was connected with a Hall of Fame band director out of Orlando, Florida. Was a band director at Jones High School down there, and came out of FAMU, which, as you know, has a pretty phenomenal band. And one of the things that he taught me, people used to always say, practice makes perfect. And Mr. Wilson, Chief Wilson, would say, no, practice don't make perfect, because if you practice it wrong, you will be perfectly wrong. Perfect practice.
That's right.
Perfect practice makes perfect.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So,
right.
a lot of respect for what you do and what you have done. And then you guys were part of a national television campaign with a little bitty soft drink called Coca-Cola.
Yes, sir. Sure was. Coca-Cola. I did that we had that commercial, and I had a chance to take part in that commercial. And the only thing about that commercial is it looks like it's extremely hot outside, but it was really about 25, maybe 28 degrees when they did that commercial.
Are you serious? I mean,
yes.
Again, when I saw the commercial again, I remembered it, and I was like, oh, they rocking. And I'm flowing with y'all. I'm trying to remember the steps that we learned back when the commercial came out. And now you tell me it was freezing cold. I never would have known that if you hadn't said it, because y'all didn't let it affect you one bit.
Yes, sir. It was freezing cold. And that's a good thing about Grambling band. I remember as a freshman, and this time we were in New York, and it poured down raining. And I was thinking, we're not going to get ready to go on the field. And then the upperclassmen said, what? It don't rain on Grambling's band. We still performed on the field. And back then, they put the chalk, the white lines on the field.
Yeah.
All the white lines were washed off the field. But when we reviewed the film, the footages, and back then, you had the reel to reel.
Yeah.
We reviewed those footages. Those lines were completely straight. That's from the discipline that we had. And we was kicking up mud, everything. We still marched.
Man, that's outstanding. We got Roy Gibson Jr. joining us here on the lunch break. He was a member of the Grambling marching band, as well as assistant band director with the Tigers, and doing great work right now with a middle school up in New Jersey. And man, I tell you what, again, to see that and to know the behind the scenes part of it is pretty interesting. But in your other walks of life, you have been in areas where you've had to really kind of make do. You were a military sniper.
Oh, yes, sir, I was. Now, that was an experience. And for one, I just have to tell the truth, because, as being an African-American, a lot of people don't expect us to, do those kind of things. But, yes, I did. I enjoyed what I did. And I served my country, and I learned a lot of things from the military. I served both in the Marine Corps and the Navy.
Wow.
I found out that the Marine Corps is the Navy. If you look on the paycheck, it says Department of the United States Navy. So I got out of the Marine Corps. Yes, sir, it does. So when I got out of the Marine Corps, I re-enlisted in the Navy, thinking I was going to go into a separate branch. Come find out, I'm still in the same boat.
Wow.
But
wow.
Yes, yeah. That was an interesting experience, and it's not something where a lot of people think a sniper's cut out to be. You have to pay more attention to detail. You record everything. I don't know. The snipers now got more toys, better things to play with. They got scopes that can tell how far a target is. I mean, to the T. And we used to have to dope. Well, it's called dope, DOPE, data on personal equipment. You had to do the calculations, the math, set the wind. Sometimes you had to use Kentucky windage. It was just say the bullet went up to the left a little bit. You might have to bring it back a little bit right. We have to use all other methods, the manual methods for sniping. And it was, like I said, it was an experience. Most of it I actually learned from hunting back at home.
I was just going to say, Roy Gibson Jr. joining us here on the lunch break. Phenomenal background, band director, assistant band director, member of the band, and also worked or enlisted in the Marines and the Navy and was a military sniper. I was going to ask you, where did you learn how to shoot, and when did you realize you were pretty good at it to the point where you could qualify to become a sniper?
I started at home. Like I said, it was back at home, and just hunting, and then I had a couple of relatives who were real good shots. Some had served in Vietnam War. So after I enlisted, that's what I wanted to do. I told them I wanted to become a sniper. I wanted to do something special. I just didn't want to be the average, personnel in the military. And through putting in request kits, I got my opportunity. And it was tough. It was tough. And one thing about the Marine Corps is a lot of people don't know, if you look on the badges that they have on their right side of their uniform, every Marine, regardless of what his MOS is, what his job title is, he can be a cook, he could be a chaplain. You must qualify perfect expert rifleman at 600 yards. That's every Marine has, or they will order you get discharged out.
Wow.
So every Marine that you see in a uniform, I don't care how he looks, he's an expert marksman with a rifle.
I'm blown away by that. I got a whole lot more respect for, friends and family that I know are Marines and did not realize that about them. And I know there's some things you can tell us and other things you can't. But that's interesting. That is very interesting. Let me ask you now. I don't mean to be disrespectful or ignorant. I saw a TV show called The Sniper, and I've been watched the whole series. Is it kind of like what we see in a situation like that, where there's somebody that's giving you the coordinates and you're adjusting your scope appropriately? They're giving you the distance and the wind speed and all of that, or are you yourself the one doing all that for yourself and then doing what you got to do?
It's both. The sniper, that's called a spotter. He spots for you, but the spotter is actually a sniper himself. They both can. It's just depending on when you get briefed who's gonna do what. But yes, they do give you coordinates. Sometimes it's one-man operations. Sometimes it's just whatever the military calls for that day. Sometimes you might be overseeing, like now what they have in Fallujah and different places. You might be overseeing some Navy Seabees just out doing, fixing on a building or repairing some ramps or fixing anything. So you might be overseeing them, just giving them protection.
Right.
You might be have a Army Ranger team going in, and they might need some protection, make sure nobody follows them out. Sometimes you might just be gathering information. You might not even take a shot. You just going reconning, seeing who's there, so it's just different missions. But yes, they do have some guys that take calculations and they watch your shot, say, hey, you was too far left or it went so many meters down right, and you make adjustments according. And it is like that,
Wow, Roy Gibson Jr. really giving us good information right here on the lunch break. It's our Throwback Thursday. We're throwing back to his days as a military sniper. Was both service with the Navy and with the Marines, and big time Floyd said, and we also agree. Thank you for your service, man. We really appreciate you serving our country and giving us the freedoms that we have.
Oh, I appreciate it. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
No problem.
So there, and then you got into law enforcement. Obviously, that's kind of a big thing right now with, some of the things that we've seen going on. What was your experience like in law enforcement, and how do you personally feel about some of the things that we've unfortunately witnessed with George Floyd and other people where law enforcement went bad?
When I started, I actually was shot in doing law enforcement. I was shot 9 times at the same time, and it was a shame that I served my country and never got grazed by a bullet in the military one time. Went to the Gulf, in the Gulf War, never got shot at or anything, and come home and was working at home and got shot doing law enforcement work. And during that time, and I know we got a controversy with racism, during the time I was shot, I did have actually more of the white American officers to help me more than I did the African American officers. But later on, through work in law enforcement and security, you still see the tension that's there. And especially with the situation that happened with George Floyd, people carry so much hate, and that's on both sides. It's even with the African American officers, law enforcement officers, and with the white American officers. They carry so much hate that it spills over. They use their badge as a means to I'm going to get over. You can't touch me. I'm a king. I'm a lord over you. And that's the part about the law enforcement I hated. Sometimes the white officers would expect you to back them up, even though they're doing something foul to your brother that's on the ground. I was one of those ones that would step up and say, "Hey, you're wrong. You need to stop." I've had physical confrontations with some officers. Some are ignorant, and some do it knowingly, and some do it ignorantly, where they don't know that they're crossing a barrier, with the African American, and some knowingly do it, and so that what happened with George Floyd is not. I hate to sound shocking to America or anybody, but that's not new. That's not the first time that situation has happened. It's just the first time that we have been made aware that it's happened.
Yeah.
There were situations in Oklahoma where you had a lot of white state troopers who were stopping a lot of people up and down the Muskogee Turnpike, and they were just racist until somebody did something about it, and they started killing off state troopers. That's what made them stop, and I hated that happened, but that's what made it stop. So it is, in law enforcement, we have a big gray area, and the gray area starts because the police are designed to enforce the law, and they're going to do it, and they train them that way. And if you look at the law enforcement agencies, they teach them to train to kill. Send a mass headshot, same thing the military does. There needs to be some techniques taught where, hey, I can disarm a person, and those, without using a weapon, without using a taser, without using mace, which you can, and it's been proven. There are officers out there can do it. I have a baby brother that never used his taser. His taser don't even work. Never used to pull his gun, and he subdued a lot of people.
Yeah, we got to take one more quick break, Roy. If you can hang on for one more segment, I greatly appreciate it. We got Roy Gibson Jr. joining us here on the lunch break. Former assistant band director with Grambling, we talked about that. Former military sniper with the Navy and the Marines, we talked about that. And now we're talking about his service in law enforcement. and some of the things that we're seeing lining up with some of the things that that these guys and young ladies are taught. So when we come back, I want to ask a couple more questions about that with our special guest, Roy Gibson Jr., right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real health insurance for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health insurance for you and your family immediately, starting at just $6 a day. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. That's right, for about $6 a day, you can have guaranteed health insurance. And there's dental, vision, and prescription coverage too. You owe it to yourself and your family to make this free call right now and learn more. There are no deductibles, no waiting period, no contracts, and coverage is guaranteed. Call National Health right now for your risk-free guaranteed health insurance quote starting at just $6 a day. Call now.
800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. That's 800-797-0921. Paid for by GoHealth.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-417-0851. 800-417-0851. That's 800-417-0851.
Jonathan Joseph with the Houston Texans.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Throwback Thursday. Got a very special guest joining us, really giving us some great information that many of us did not know, and that is none other than Roy Gibson Jr., who lives in New Jersey, originally from a little bitty town, literally in the Gulf from Louisiana, was an associate band director at Grambling State University, and also is a musical educator up in New Jersey, and was a member of the military, Marine, and Navy as a sniper. I mean, dude, that right there is a lifetime by itself. But then you went on into the world of law enforcement. Let me ask you a question that came across earlier, and I want to ask: why don't the good officers call out the bad ones and get them off the force?
Well, it's a what you call confidentiality. When they're sworn in, just like the military, and a lot of people might know this. I'm gonna say this, and then I come back to that. In the Vietnam War, when you research the reason why they stopped the war, actually, and the government won't tell you this all the way, is not because of the fact that we won the war. We actually lost that war. It was really because there were so many black enlisted men that were actually killing white men, vice versa. We were killing our own kind.
Wow.
And was keeping it hush-hush.
Wow.
And when it comes to the law enforcement, that's the same thing. You know, we've had a lot of white officers, you know, who will manipulate a lot of black officers and say, hey, we wear the same badge. We work on the same team. One day I may have to cover your back. You may have to cover mine, or vice versa. A lot of black officers would do the same thing. And so they have that code. So when something like that happens, most of these officers who have done something wrong, when they see another guy that's brought on the carpet by some of his actions, they trying to hide their stuff too. So they don't say anything. You know, and they have that code that they live by. unless you have a very handful that would actually step up to the plate and say, do say something about it. I know several officers that have gone to bat and have stopped officers from doing things, and then some haven't. They just by that code. Some of them are afraid. Some of them fear. And they fear because of what they have done, and they know they haven't done everything by the book either.
Wow, that's. I mean, it's sobering. I guess it's somewhat understandable, but man, as civilians who just really want to make it home, and our children who we just want them to make it home, I appreciate you got a code to each other, man. But good Lord, I don't know, man. Yeah. I mean, you hear my heart. You know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and there's few that will. I'm fortunate. I know me myself. I know my brother. I had some relatives. We crossed that barrier. I didn't care. Right is right, wrong is wrong.
Right.
I didn't care about the color. I mean, and you cross that barriers, and I still do it now. I mean, I don't care if you purple and if you get choked out. Hey, man, you need to stop.
Yeah. You
have few that across that barrier. It's just that you have to, especially now, what's happening. And we got to change those laws. We got to change the laws that the police have to enforce. We have to get together with our congressmen, with our city leaders, our commissioners, or whoever, and say, hey, why don't y'all look at give them some type of training, something that will lead up to give us a chance to at least live before we, attack or beat or, I know they changed using the PR-24 versus the stick baton, the straight baton, because PR-24, man, you get hit with that, bro. That's like getting hit with a baseball bat.
Yeah. I have a couple of folks that carry those, and trust me when I say it don't look like much in the hand. Get hit with it.
Yeah.
Hey, man, again, we got Roy Gibson Jr. joining us here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. He's got a very extensive resume. One of the other things that you've done, you played some football back in the day. Tell us what you played, what level you got to.
Oh, I was a defensive back, started out, cornerback, strong side corner. And then coach said I came up and hit so hard, they moved me over to linebacker.
Wow.
And actually, to be honest, I love watching football. I just didn't like playing it.
Oh,
and
really?
I did it out of revenge, man.
Wow.
I did it out of revenge. A coach, when I was young, a coach put me on a team, and I thought I was going to start and play, and he took my jersey and gave it to some other guys and let them play. Man, they were starting. I stayed on the sideline. And then through middle school, I stayed on the sideline. And then all the way up to my junior year in high school, I finally just told the coach, look, hey, I want to play defensive back. And he laughed at me. So when I got in there, man, at practice, I was putting a helmet to him. And they realized, hey, this kid is really good. So my junior year in high school, I made all district at Green Oaks High School, right? Same school Trey White went to, and some other kids made all district. Then I moved to linebacker, made all district linebacker my senior year. Had some offers, but like I said, it was a revenge thing for me. I love watching people play it. I just don't really care too much about it, but I was really good at it, coached it. I coached with the Shreveport Pelicans. As I started out as assistant coach, and then ended up being offensive coordinator. So I know the game, but like I said, I just didn't want to get banged up that much. I just love watching people play it.
Yeah. What do you think about the schools and the especially on the high school level, all of them playing right now with COVID-19 going on?
I think they should wait. It's a safety issue. And I know some people say they're concerned about the kids. And some people say they don't want to see the kids just sit at home. But it's definitely a safety issue with me. I think they should have waited at least till the spring came around. And I don't want to see a kid fall down out there, just fall out.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have not seen that. I've been looking around the country. I've heard there were some players on teams that tested positive, and I really think they should wait. You know, I'm always thinking for safety first, man, especially when it concerns the kids.
Yeah. I believe that from you, having been, assistant band director, having, taught music on several different levels in the, middle school, high school, what have you, and been out there, man. I believe that from. When I hear the Nick Sabans of the world, when I hear the Dabo Sweeneys of the world, and I got to tell you, man, that Scott Frost up in Nebraska, I literally have to pray. I literally have to say, Lord, forgive me for how I feel about that, man, because these people are saying one thing with their mouth, and at the end of the day, to me, I won't get nobody else in trouble, but to me, all they care about is their own bottom line dollars. And then they try to make it sound like these kids are so poor and so destitute that without Nebraska or without Alabama or without Clemson, they wouldn't have nothing. Well, I got news for you. Those same little destitute kids made it all the way to you. I promise you, they're going to make it after you. And I just hate the God complex. I hate the God complex. And, when we're talking about law enforcement, you got guys that have those God complexes. When you talk about politics, you have people that have those God complexes. And college sports, unfortunately, is no different. You got people with the God complex, and you're not anybody's savior, let alone some little black child.
That's right. It's true. It's true. Exactly true.
Man, unfortunately, we got to get ready to go. But, man, you have been one of the most diverse and one of the most fascinating guests that we have had here on the lunch break. Are you a Saints fan?
I am actually a Packers fan.
Man, get off my phone, bro. You rep that black and gold, not green and gold. What happened?
Hey, but look, I will say this though. I don't dislike the Saints, and I think they should, considering the last 2 years, maybe 3 years, they've gotten a bad rep. I'm kind of really actually expecting them to win the Super Bowl. I expected them to win last year, and I expected them to win this year. And I told several people that, I like my Packers, but you got to give credit where credit is due. They've been robbed, and they really do. They need that win.
Well,
I think they'll do it this year.
I'll put it to you like this: they in the same conference, so they both can't play in the Super Bowl against each other. So since it ain't but room for one, we going with the who that talking about beating them Saints. Your Packers can be runners up. How about that?
We'll take it.
Roy Gibson Jr., phenomenal guest. Roy, do me a favor, man. Be safe up there in New Jersey, and stay in touch with us. Let us know what you got going on. We'd love to have you back on one day soon.
Okay, I sure will.
All right, y'all. Roy Gibson Jr., great man. God bless you, man. Stay safe up there.
All right, okay. Same to you.
All right, man. I mean, just an extensive resume. He was a military sniper. Was in the Marines and the Navy. He is a music educator, teaches band on the middle school and has done it on the high school level, was an assistant band director at Grambling, was a member of the Grambling State Marching Band, was in a national Coca-Cola commercial, was in law enforcement, and he also played and coached some football. It don't get more extensive than that. Listen, I got to get Sybil Wilkes on, and then we'll have another Gibson. It's the Gibson Day on the lunch break right here on the Legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Here's Sybil Wilkes with her coronavirus update.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today about the coronavirus. The pandemic has worsened mental health issues, especially for young people of color. That, according to mental health experts with the Center for Law and Social Policy. The issues have been exacerbated by a lack of connectedness due to isolation, economic struggles, increased stress due to police brutality, and bullying. Federal health agencies and the Defense Department released a plan to make coronavirus vaccines available for free to all Americans, even as polls show doubt about taking a vaccine when one becomes available. The vaccination campaign is set to possibly begin this year or early next year. As millions of out-of-work people stopped receiving extra federal unemployment relief, retail sales grew little in August. Despite that small growth, data shows that shoppers spent more at restaurants and bars and purchased more furniture, electronics, cars, and clothes. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, Be empowered.
Beautiful people, this is Major. This is why I love you on the lunch break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones, and boy, this Throwback Thursday is something else. That guest that we just had right there, Roy L. Gibson with a P, Jr., phenomenal, man. I just his resume alone just has me just tripping. But let me give you a quick sports update before we get out of this first hour, get into the second hour. Got a lot I want to talk about. NBA playoff action back on the court tonight. Boston and Miami, game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. That'll be at 6 p.m. Central on the mothership. And then the Lakers and Denver will play game 1 of the Western Conference Finals tomorrow, 8 o'clock on TNT. Rockets guard James Harden and Luka Doncic of the Mavericks join Giannis Antetokounmpo and LeBron James along with Anthony Davis on the All-NBA first team. LeBron James breaks the record for his 16th time as a member of the All-NBA first team and was a unanimous selection. Again, James Harden on, congratulations. NFL action this weekend. You got Dallas hosting Atlanta Sunday at noon. Texans are going to host Baltimore Sunday at 3:25. And New Orleans is going to visit the Las Vegas Raiders on Monday Night Football. Tonight you got Cincinnati at Cleveland. That'll kick off at 7:20 Central for Thursday night. Astros gave up an RBI double in the top of the ninth. They lose 1-0 to the Rangers. Game 3 this evening at 6:10. And the Big Ten is going to be playing some football starting in October. We'll be right back with more right after this.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK.
My guy.
And
What's going on? You good?
Yeah. Gipson.
Out.
On all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
All right, y'all, we are back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. I don't know how this got worked out. Like, this is Gibson Throwback Thursday on the lunch break. Roy L. Gibson with a P, and now we got Willy Gibson with a B, again, joining us on the lunch break.
What's going on, sir?
What's happening, man?
Everything.
It is definitely everything happening. I had to get you on. A lot of folks blaspheming the Big Ten and saying all kinds of craziness. As much as I've been saying, I'm trying to stay saved and sanctified and filled with the Holy Ghost. I really need some prayer about Scott Frost up there in Nebraska. I'm sorry, the 6-win Scott Frost up there in Nebraska. He's got 6 whole wins. What, he had 3 last year and 3 the year before that?
In conference, he's 4-8.
I'll give him out of conference stuff. He don't get no credit playing Little Sisters of the Poor and Nebraska State and Nebraska Polytech. I'm talking about in that Big Ten where, we're going to play any means necessary. You got 6 whole wins, bro. You might have should have sat this one out.
Yeah, he did. And I will say this, and I'm not defending him, but it may explain a couple things. His father passed yesterday of cancer, so that may explain some things that may have occurred. So that's something that was released earlier today. That his father passed of cancer on Wednesday. So
okay, so I'm gonna just say this right here. I hid my face and I rubbed my mouth because I want to be respectful. I am a pastor. I am someone who is compassionate to anybody. I'll leave it there. Now, did we have a long enough pause?
You tell me.
That ain't got nothing to do with his behavior. That had nothing to do with his blatant disrespect of authority and leadership in the Big Ten. And for the boosters and the parents and the political people to throw those kids of Wisconsin up in lawsuits and have them be the face of lawsuits. At some point, Scott Frost has to be who he is paid to be, a leader. And leadership does not mean you let everybody do just what they want to do. In fact, I have been mind blown by the number of people who just have absolutely no respect for authority, but they want to say Blue Lives Matter and they want to tell black folks to just comply, but you ain't got no respect for authority. As long as it's going in your direction, it's respect authority. But when it's not, it's tear it down by any means necessary. Get your long gun and let's run and storm the Capitol and all that kind of stuff. I got no respect for Scott Frost. I'm sorry for his loss of his father. And I won't say but. I'll put a period. I got no respect for him.
Well, here's the thing. When you say authority, you have to understand, determine when it comes to college athletics and college sports, who has the authority. You understand in academia, the college president has the authority. Then you would look at the quote-unquote subordinates with college coaches. We all know that that's not necessarily the case. In most situations, that college coach wields the power versus that college administration, that administrator, that college president, that college whomever, that professor, whomever, that college coach wields the power. How they use that, however, is up for interpretation. Absolutely. But with Scott Frost, I mean, again, that quote and that vignette that was shown, he was speaking to his base. That was on huskersports.com. It was the day that the season was announced that it was being postponed, and he felt like he had to rile up the troops, so to speak. So he spoke to Husker Nation. He said those things, not defending them, not agreeing, not disagreeing, just stating what the situation was.
Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate it. We got Willy Gibson. He's a broadcast journalist up in Ohio, up in Columbus, Ohio. He covers the Big Ten, covers Ohio State, covers the Cleveland Browns. And we appreciate you. In fact, let me put the right thing underneath you because you're not Roy Gibson Jr. You are Willy Gibson. So let's get the right thing. There we go. There we go. I think I got the right thing now.
Appreciate you rocking the G for Gibson today, too. I know it's
that's what it is.
You know, I know.
That's what it is. You know, the first hour it was G for Grambling because that's where that young man did his thing.
Sure.
But now it's, do you see it? It's all Gibson, bro.
Indeed. Enough said. Enough said.
So, all right. So let's just move, the lamest head coach in the Big Ten out of the way. Again, I like when folks are talking in microphones that they don't think are on. I like when they're in front of their base because now you can hear what they really mean and see how they really feel. So as I said, again, 3 wins, 6 wins in conference, you ain't hitting on nothing. And you're going to get the brakes beat off of you again this year. How many games are they going to play? Go ahead and give us a rundown on what the Big Ten season is going to look like.
Well, they'll play 9 games. It's an 8-game regular season starting October 23rd.
Right.
The Big Ten championship game is played on December 19th. So those 2 teams will play a 9th game and kind of make it a little unique and kind of give the other teams in the Big Ten a little more shine. They added a 9th game. So on December 19th, you'll have the winner of the East, the winner of the Big Ten East, the winner of the Big Ten West meet in the Big Ten championship game. Then conversely, that same day, you'll have the second place team in the East play the second place team in the West, all the way down to the 7th place team in the East versus the 7th place team in the West. So each team gets 9 games.
Okay. I see what's happening. So let's let me disrespect Scott Frost some more. So he'll be in a consolation game versus Northwestern or somebody like that.
I know they're both in the West, so it'll be someone whomever.
Let me pull this up. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Let me get this right here, and I want to hit that right there, and then I want to hit standings, and then I'm going to go to Big Ten. Big Ten. There it is. All right. So in the West, you're going to have in the East, you're going to have Ohio State taking on more than likely Minnesota, maybe Wisconsin. Minnesota, maybe Wisconsin. That's probably who's going to be in that championship game.
I would say Wisconsin.
It's probably going to be Rutgers and Nebraska in the lowest consolation game.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
We shall see.
I just figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been said, so it's been written, so it'll be done.
Indeed.
Okay, Willie is like, who is this guy, man? Like,
I want to figure out what Scott Frost. I know the comments. We've talked about it, and I'll leave it there.
I'm just saying, man. I was trying to be polite. I was trying to, make sure I can go and look at the records in the Big Ten and see, who's done what, and kind of, do some scout work on predicting and forecasting and what have you. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. This dude won 3 conference games last year. I went back another year. He won 3 conference games the year before that. And he running his mouth like he's I can't even I'm not even going to call anybody's name at Ohio State. He's running his mouth like he's John Harbaugh.
Well, here's the thing. In Nebraska, he is. Because you have to remember, he's in Nebraska, he is.
They play half-day games in Nebraska, but as soon as you leave out of Nebraska, you're a red-headed dude that can't coach.
But again, he was speaking to his fan base in Nebraska.
Okay. So let me ask you, is his
hero
job in jeopardy if he loses, if he wins 3 games?
He knows that. He knows that. He lost, not only is his job in jeopardy, his job's in jeopardy regardless, and he knew that when he made the comments. He lost his top receiver, J.D. Spellman, who transferred to TCU. He lost another quarterback that was to injury. So he knows his back is against the wall. This year, he has to do something. And I don't know.
I'm going to try and get an interview with him. I'm calling the media relations department. I want to interview with Scott Frost, and I want him to tell me no. I want him to tell me no. I want them to tell me no, you cannot get an interview with him. I'm tuning into the Big Ten video conference, and I'm asking a question.
There you go.
That's what I'm doing. All right, so they're going to start playing on October the 23rd.
Yes.
But let's talk some real football. Obviously, Ohio State is one of the top teams in the country, let alone in the Big Ten. Give me your next 3 teams. Does Michigan finally get into the discussion, or are they still bad? I heard a quarterback just opted out and is transferring out of Michigan.
Dylan McCaffrey. Yeah, he's the younger brother of Carolina Catholic Christian McCaffrey. Right. Played 2 years. Hadn't really done a lot. Wasn't in the mix this year. Joe Milton probably will be the quarterback in Ann Arbor this year. So he chose to move forward and explore options elsewhere. Is this the year Michigan's in the discussion? Which discussion? Because I don't know that they're going to do anything. Honestly, Jim Harbaugh, really, this may be the year. We talked about Scott Frost being under some pressure, but Jim Harbaugh, what has he done? He came home and really hasn't done a lot. He hasn't won bowl games. He definitely hasn't beaten Ohio State. And that's what he was brought home to do. Restore the program, beat Ohio State, compete for national championships. He's 0 for 3.
Get out of here. So let me ask you a question before we have to take a break. Who gets fired first, Jim Harbaugh or Scott Frost?
Jim Harbaugh.
Wow. That would be ridiculous. I might protest if Harbaugh gets fired before Scott Frost. I might be protesting up in Lincoln.
It's expectations. You're not meeting the expectation. It's a zero-sum game. If he's not meeting the expectations, and I'll tell you this, the only way he stays is those legacy programs in Nebraska, Michigan. You got to have a Michigan man coach Michigan. Who else is going to take that job? They tried to go outside with Rich Rodriguez a few years ago. It didn't work. Yeah. So the only thing that probably keeps Harbaugh around is you don't have that quote-unquote Michigan man ready to come in and take over.
Wow. That's unbelievable, man. Let me take a quick break. We got Willy Gibson joining us here on the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK. We'll come back, talk some more football and some basketball, all that next, right here on the Legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The Legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation and no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show,
Gibson said,
right
hey,
here
Willie, no
on
call.
the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 a.m.
I'm going to
and
bust
the
you out on
all-new
here.
92.3.
No, I didn't hear it. What is it?
Lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. Throwback Thursday, going back to back when Nebraska had a good football team, didn't have a dude by the name of Scott Frost messing it up.
What did he do, man? Tell me. Outside of is it just the comments? Is that it?
No, I got two dudes. It's personal. They know what they did.
Wow. Okay.
Scott Frost and Brad Stevens. They know what they did.
Wow.
Tell them make it right, and I'll get off their back, but they ain't made it right yet.
Fair enough.
You know who needs to take over that Nebraska program?
Who's that? Turner Gill?
Huh?
Turner Gill? Who you got? My fault. Who you got?
I was going to say Tommy Frazier, but Turner Gill should be it. I mean, Turner, didn't do so well at Kansas. He was a beast at Liberty and at Buffalo, but didn't do so well at Kansas. But, again, they have recycled coaches that didn't do well at other places and given them jobs at their alma mater. But, man, again, for all that Scott Frost has done, bring in Tommy Frazier. Let's see what he can do. Bring in Turner Gill. Let's see what he can do. And Turner Gill has the bones. He has the receipts that he's been a good coach. I mean, Scott Frost had, 1-2 good years at Central Florida?
And he was OC at Oregon. He made his name in that offense in Oregon when he was under Chip Kelly. And then Herfridge after that. So
I'm sorry, my sigh overtook my better judgment. I'm underwhelmed. I'm underwhelmed. Again, when you look at what Frank Solich, when you look at the legendary head coach before that, it's embarrassing. Right? It's embarrassing. And again, for Nebraska to be who they are in that conference and making all that noise. If I'm Mr. Warren, let them do one little thing that's outside of the line.
That's the thing, though, AJ. Who are they in that conference? That's the thing. Who are they in this conference? They're
send me one expected email late. Turn in one file or report late. Don't report something that you were supposed to report. Smacking you. Whatever the fine calls for, you're getting all of it.
They're an other in this conference. And John Cooper, Ohio State football coach of the early '90s, had a saying. It's all you others, and Nebraska is an other. They're an other right now. This is not Johnny Rodgers in the '70s and the '80s, the Big Eight. This is not Tommy Frazier in '95. This is you're just another team at this point.
Yeah. All right, let me go back to the Big Ten real quick. So, like I said, in the on the East, obviously it's Ohio State's to lose. Penn State probably going to be the number 2 again. Does Michigan State or Michigan fall in that number 3 spot?
I would say Michigan State.
Who's coaching Michigan State now? Is that
Mel Tucker?
Mel Tucker. And have they calmed down from all the hoopla and nonsense that they were trying to raise up about him?
Oh, Mel's fine. His first year, he came in from Colorado.
I know, but they made a big deal about how he left Colorado.
Yeah, they didn't like the way he left Colorado, no, but he's fine.
Okay, good. So we'll go Michigan State number 3. Michigan number 4. Is there a surprise team that I don't know about? Does Maryland or Indiana? Indiana played a lot better last year. Do they jump into that number 4 spot? I mean, clearly Michigan doesn't drop lower than 4, do they?
They don't. Don't. I mean, let's not give them too much disrespect, but they're fine at 4.
Okay. All right. Then where do we go? Indiana, Maryland.
Rutgers.
Okay, got it. Let's go on the west side. Is Wisconsin the cream of the crop over there, or does Iowa or Minnesota dethrone them there?
I would say Minnesota, but Rashad Bateman early on, their All-America receiver, opted out and began to prepare for the NFL draft. He did it probably about a month ago, and he's been working out, getting ready for the draft. So If he does not come back, that's a huge blow to Minnesota and PJ Fleck. So I would say Wisconsin for sure is the cream of the crop out of the West.
Okay.
And watch out, a sleeper now. Watch out for Illinois. Lovey Smith.
That's what I was gonna say. I love Illinois. You know, our girl Ashton Washington, first African American woman on the Illinois coaching staff. Lovey Smith, man. When I say Lovey Smith, should be the head coach of the Houston Texans right now. Should have gotten the job over Bill O'Brien, but you know, I digress. I like what Lovey's doing there. So does Lovey jump into that number 2 spot or?
No, I'm not ready to say that. I'm just saying he's not going to be the bottom dweller that they've been previously. Now, in the second, I would definitely say Minnesota has enough to slide into that second spot.
Okay,
you know,
so Wisconsin number 1,
right?
Minnesota number 2,
right?
Iowa or Illinois?
Northwestern.
Really?
Yes, Northwestern at 3.
Northwestern is like that popular girl in school that plays with your emotions and says, "We gonna go to homecoming," and you like get your stuff together, and then she's there with the star football player. She just lets you down every time. Is Northwestern gonna finally come through?
First things first, I'm not familiar with that scenario, but
Willy Gibson with the block at the rim. No.
Yeah, little Bam out of bio, but
I'm gonna start calling you Willie Bam. Go ahead.
But no, Northwestern. Yeah, I forgot Northwestern. Yeah, I think this is the year. And then Pat Fitzgerald, he's been there a while.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to do some things. I think he finally has a group of players. He lost his quarterback, but I think the players that he has coming back should be enough to at least remain competitive in that Big Ten West.
All right, you saying North Carolina? I mean, you're saying Northwestern at that number 3 spot,
and at the 3rd, and indeed.
Lord. Then who's number 4?
I would go ahead and put Levy there. I would go ahead and put the line out there.
Okay.
Because, like I said, they're coming. Right. He's building something there, and I think it's time for him to take that next step. Iowa
or Purdue after that?
Oh, Iowa.
Okay.
Iowa, without
then
question.
Purdue, then Nebraska.
I'm not so convinced to put Nebraska at 7.
Bro, if you don't quit,
Purdue again.
You keep asking me what's personal with me and Scott. What's going on with you and Scott?
What's going on with me and Scott is I know Purdue lost Rondale Moore. He opted out, and that's their everything guy on offense. So without him, I don't know what Purdue's bringing back. So I'm not so quick to just say Purdue at 6.
All right. Do I owe you a what's those iced teas that I like to drink?
What is it?
What are those iced teas that I like to drink? Do I owe you one of them, or do you owe me one?
I'm not from. I think Miami beat Milwaukee in the NBA playoffs. I know we talked about that.
So I guess I owe you one.
You said that. I didn't say that.
Yeah, well, I like how you do that. I like how you make me say it, so you can't say that you said it and I go off on. Stay right there. Let me take a break. I'll be right back with more right after this on the lunch break.
My God.
It's on the iced tea. I'm drawing blanks today.
It's Arizona. I know. I got people listening. I can't let them know I'm gambling, bro. I got people listening. My pastor on the line. I can't be listening. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
That's hilarious.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what? I didn't mean to leave you out there. I was like, oh, dang. I got to leave you out there on this one.
If you have diabetes and you're worried
bro, my bad.
crowded
Hey,
pharmacies
Wakanda forever, bro.
in the safety
Peace out to
of
Saturday.
and like U.S.
Is this shit king?
And now
Is this shit king?
blood sugar
Yeah.
4 more
You're
times.
definitely not in Baku because you didn't save me at all, bro.
Nah, bro. Hey, I don't know. Pastor, I don't know what he was talking about. I don't know.
Cost.
I don't know.
The pain
No.
That's funny, man.
and help
Yeah, my bad, bro. My bad.
decisions.
Bro,
Plus,
look.
we'll send you a 90-day
We got to do
supply
this. We got to do this often on Thursdays, man.
Hey, let's do it.
I want you on Thursdays because
Call
you are
US
hilarious.
Med
Let's do it.
800
Oh, man.
0851.
All right, I got one more after this.
800 417 0851. That's 800-417-0851.
Hey, Tiffany Gibson.
Yeah.
How'd you like to eliminate your expensive cable bill forever?
Who was that?
Or
That's
get
one of
new
your people.
satellite internet?
Yeah. That's my wife.
Now you can have affordable
Did I say
satellite
hello, Miss
internet
Tiffany
service
Gibson?
for a
Hi, Miss
few
Gibson.
dollars
How
a
are
day.
you, Mrs.
All you need
Gibson?
is a
Yeah, man, that's correct. Let's get that right. No, I'm playing. You know
Was
this
not gambling Arizona iced teas with me. I promise you.
Nah, man.
No money was taken out of the household fooling with me.
Heck no.
Hedge and all.
No cable. And the
Send me
best
my
part
check,
is
bro.
satellite
Cash out me
internet
my
service
Straight cash, homie.
few dollars a
Cash out me
day
my
for your
payment.
entire
I'm like Randy Moss. Straight cash, homie.
to surf or stream television for a few bucks a day. Call now for
I
free.
can't find the feed, man. I got out. Somebody called me, and I got out of it. I can't find the feed anymore.
712-8044. 800-712-8044.
Oh, that's funny.
800-712-8044. That's 800-712-8044.
Now, back to the lunch break.
All right, y'all, back to the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. I got the hilarious Willy Gibson up in Columbus, Ohio, joining me virtually. We can see him. I know those of y'all listening on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM can't see him, but you can hear him. And he's a broadcast journalist up there, covers the Big Ten, covers the Ohio State University, and, of course, covers the Cleveland Browns. Before we jump out of the college ranks, got word that basketball can come back. What is that, November the 25th?
Yes.
November 25th?
Yes.
What are you hearing about that?
Just that. November 25th is the start date. Haven't heard anything about any matchups, any type of. I know at one point there was a discussion perhaps about a bubble. I know the coaches at ACC came up with a scenario where every team was invited to the NCAA tournament this year, and that was quickly squashed. Like, we're not doing that.
Like, yeah, whoever came up with that just dumb.
Coach K, but I'll leave it there. I'll leave that there.
Man, just because you have a bunch of wins back behind your name doesn't make you brilliant. It just means you're a good basketball coach. I'm sorry, man. The respect level for Dabo Swinney, the respect level for Nick Saban, and I'm not even going to insult them by putting Scott Frost in the same category. It's just dropped. It's just dropped because some of the stuff that these brilliant people have said because they got all these wins in football, it's been pretty dumb. It's just been pretty dumb.
Say it with your chest. Tell them how you really feel.
No,
I know.
Yeah, put me on an SEC or an ACC media day, and I'll try. You know, Coach, there were some very questionable comments that you made about the coronavirus. What's your medical background again? And I sit back and wait for the answer, and I'll probably never get on another one.
Understood.
So, let's go down the NFL rankings for this. I mean, the games, matchups for this week. Yesterday, I did a rapid fire.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I'm going to do another rapid fire, but I know you cover the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm.
The Cleveland Browns have a chance to beat my boys, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals tonight, 7:20 live on the NFL Network.
They do. The defensive front of the Bengals is taking a shot. That's the thing playing Sunday to Thursday. You know, you lost their defensive tackles are out. So Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are going to eat. They're going to eat tonight because those. I mean, you have Pro Bowl linemen that aren't playing on a short week. Baker Mayfield's going to get it together. I mean, I know we talk about Baker all the time, and I know you, Scott Frost, Dabo Swinney, Nick Saban, and Baker Mayfield. I already know.
Don't forget Brad Stevens.
I already know. But in his defense, and people that know are going to be amazed, and I'm pseudo defending him. But I'll say this: tonight is Baker Mayfield's 31st career start, so a little under 2 seasons, right? His third year in the league, started 31 games. He's had 4 head coaches and 4 or 6 offensive coordinators, depending on who's counting. But yet, every time something happens, it's Baker Mayfield. Baker. Baker doesn't play defense. Defense gave up 38 points on Sunday. It's not Baker's fault.
Can we, first of all, let me make sure people know that that's the voice of Willy Gibson.
Oh, they know. They didn't know it wasn't you. They know.
Broadcast journalist from Columbus, Ohio. Can I tell you why those of us who, Baker, because he ran his mouth so much.
Yep.
He jumped into that pool. Nobody pushed him in.
Mm-hmm.
People tried to help him out. He jumped into this pool where he had to have a comment about everything, whether it was his team or not, where he literally got into other people's pockets and contract negotiations, Duke Johnson, where he literally went after a coach that got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't quit and say, yo, I'm going to go back to Cincinnati and give them all your secrets. He went after a grown man for handling that grown man's business. Bruh, he don't get any empathy, sympathy, or anything right now. He's played like trash. He has not backed it up. He's run his mouth more than he could. And you still got people out there, because he can dance, we're going to invite him to the barbecue. Stop that. Stop that. The boy is played, and I said boy, is paid to play football games, and he ain't even doing that well right now.
Well, no, duly noted. All that being said is correct. And he's had some struggles. Again, 4 systems in less than 3 years. So in this one, and even looking at him Sunday, he has the talent around him. It's like, well, he's throwing the Odell, he's throwing the Jarvis. Why can't he play? He's thinking. He's coming into a new system, no training camp, no preseason games, and he's basically learning on the fly. So what he has to do is stop thinking so much, trust his weapons, trust his arm, trust his mind, and throw the ball, because he's holding the ball too long and he's thinking too much. He's thinking too much.
Yeah, that's a dangerous thought right there. Baker Mayfield thinking. I heard a couple of the national shows say that if Baker loses tonight against Cincinnati, that they're going to start to be some open revolts on Baker Mayfield. Like there's going to be a serious division on whether you keep moving forward with him or without him.
Within the team?
Within the organization.
No, they're all in on Baker because they got to know. They can't say after 2 games, but I will say this: they've set the table for him. They last year the offensive line was suspect. They went out, they solidified the offensive line, signed Jack Conklin in free agency, drafted Jedrick Willis in the first round. They went out, they got other pieces to support him as well. So the table's set. So he has to make it happen this year. But I'm not so quick to jump ship after 1 game, again, with new system, no preseason, no training camp, well, very little training camp. I mean, they've been in the building less than 2 months. So you look at that, no preseason games. So game 1 is your first live action. I mean, I'm not willing to jump ship just yet now. But that being said, this is year 3, and he has to make it happen this year.
Is it the curse of Cleveland? I mean, guys can play quarterback everywhere else and on other levels, but they get to Cleveland, and for some reason, Cleveland quarterbacks the list is longer than, the Gettysburg Address.
No, it's the law of the lid. It's ownership. Ownership's owned the team since 2012, and I believe they've had 9 head coaches since 2012. It's the law. I mean, you have to have some continuity, and if you don't have that, you continuously start over. And you start over, and you start over, no one's going to be successful. Lamar Jackson went 32 in that draft. If they took Lamar Jackson at number 1, this would be happening to Lamar Jackson. Period. 4 head coaches, 6 offensive coordinators in less than 3 years. It's not a recipe for success.
So let's do this, and I'm going to openly announce it before I do it. We're going to openly announce it before I do it. I got Willy Gibson joining me. He is a broadcast journalist in Columbus, Ohio. Phenomenal, brilliant, love him. Love his work. Covers the Big Ten, covers the Cleveland Browns and the Ohio State University. A graduate from the Ohio State University. Willy, so what I want to do is I'm going to go to the opposite end of the spectrum. I want you to stay right where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, you know me. You know where my heart lies.
Yep.
I say when people talk about Jameis Winston and what he's not, and they call him a bust, and you got Trey Wingo out there saying we know what Jameis Winston is. He's not going to get any better. We've seen the best of Jameis Winston. This is as good as he gets. But nobody pointed out the exact same points that you said, but me. How many head coaches has this young man had? How many different offensive coordinators has this young man had? And then the year that they finally, jettisoned him off, he leads the NFC in passing yards and touchdowns, but he gets credited only for 30 interceptions. He's got to go. You got a guy by the name of Phillip Rivers who had some turnover, but nothing near what Jameis Winston had. And you had people killing each other trying to get him. And once a team got him, they vaulted him to the top of the rankings because they had Phillip Rivers. Who had the second most interceptions in the NFL last year? Phillip Rivers. So when I say that, you're giving Baker Mayfield credit for something that no other black quarterback gets credit for. Why we got to get after Baker?
When you say no other black quarterback, I mean, like I said, Lamar Jackson's been in the same system for 3 years.
I'm not talking about Lamar.
Going back to Jameis.
Let's talk about Jameis.
Yep.
Let's talk about Robert Griffin III. And let's talk about quarterbacks like that. I'm not talking about Lamar. Right. Lamar is one of the rare quarterbacks that's come in and had a head coach that did what I've said head coaches need to be doing. Build your program around the guy instead of trying to make the guy fit into your program. You want to add another person to the list? The head coach of San Francisco. You can put him on that list as well because Kyle Shanahan. He's got a system, and he expects everybody to fit his system. He ain't smart enough yet to make his system fit everybody that he plays, and that's why he's struggling out there with Jimmy Garoppolo right now. But go ahead.
So, why answer your question, Jameis? Let's address Jameis. Bruce Arians came in. You said that was his third coach. Jameis was a Dirk Cutter guy. Dirk Cutter loved Jameis. Jameis loved Dirk Cutter. That's how Dirk Cutter got the job in Tampa. You remember Lovie Smith got fired. They hired Dirk Cutter for Jameis. The same thing that happened in Cleveland. Hugh Jackson got fired. They hired Freddie Kitchens. Why? Because Baker wanted Freddie. When Hugh got fired, Greg Williams took over. Well, why he took over? He was the second choice. That's another story. Greg Williams took over. They promoted Freddie Kitchens to offensive coordinator. Baker and Freddie clicked. So when it came time to hire head coaches, we were sitting up there. Freddie Kitchens was the running back coach. Hugh gets fired. He moves up to offensive coordinator, and then he becomes head coach. And everyone's sitting there like, why? In the opening press conference, people were sitting there like, how did Freddie Kitchens become the head coach? Well, Baker liked him. And that's when you talk about Baker talking a lot and running his mouth. Baker had carte blanche in that building until it didn't work. And then they got rid of Freddie. They brought back Andrew Berry. And now Baker is humbled. He's been humbled. Now, going back to Jameis. He had the 5,000 yards. He had 30 touchdowns. He had the 30 picks. It's situational football. I mean, I'm not making excuses for him, but look at when he threw those picks. 7 times on openings in first quarters, he threw picks that led to touchdowns. When you're giving the team 7 points off the rip, that's a problem. That's a problem. And there's no urgency to fix it, and it's continual. When you got a guy like Bruce Arians, then you understand Tom Brady came on the market. That's not going to happen always. Had Tom Brady not come on the market, James would probably be there right now. But you got a chance to get, quote unquote, the GOAT. Who's not going to do that?
I'm still stuck on the why we supposed to feel bad that Baker Mayfield had all these different offense coordinators and head coach, but we don't feel bad that Jameis Winston had him. And oh yeah, by the way, Jameis actually produced. Jameis actually had.
Well, no, I'm not saying feel bad. I'm just, the Browns is the team that I cover. I'm just giving you the concept or the context of what happened.
And that's why I said, we have no issue.
Yeah, no.
I fail to understand. Like, for instance, a guy, Kirk Cousins, who, had limited success in Washington, but he goes to Minnesota and they give him the first fully guaranteed contract for a quarterback in the NFL. First fully guaranteed. Every dollar of it was guaranteed. What did he do to earn that? And then he
hired the right agent.
Success to there, and now we're hearing about offensive coordinators and adjustments and systems and all that. Well, guess what? There are other people that had those same things. They didn't get fully guaranteed contracts, We don't consider those things when we talk about how successful this guy has been versus that guy. I just wonder why we use those kind of storylines for certain guys and we don't use them for the entire position group.
Well, two things. One, Kirk Cousins, why did he get the first fully guaranteed contract? He hired the right agent. I mean, he got a 3-year, $84 million contract. His agent worked it. That's this. But as far as Cleveland, Baker Mayfield, it's not so much that I'm giving Baker Mayfield the benefit of the doubt. Again, Cleveland has been a cyclical process for years. This is wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. So it's not Baker Mayfield per se. Baker Mayfield is the quarterback now, but we've seen this in Cleveland for decades. So it's not so much Baker Mayfield as much as it is Cleveland, the process, what's going on in Cleveland.
I got you. And I will say this, little history about Baker Mayfield from down here in Texas, when he played and everything at a prominent school up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and then had to go and be a walk-on and nobody, really gave him a shot and all that kind of stuff. Baker was a whole different young man. But Doc, when he got that starting deal, he changed. He changed. Again, what we saw in Cleveland last year, many of us saw in Oklahoma and originally at Texas Tech before that. So,
and truth be told, again, I'm no Baker Mayfield apologist. Truthfully, that draft, I wanted the Browns to draft Sam Darnold. I thought Sam Darnold was the better pick out of USC, who's now in New York with the Jets.
Yeah, you still think that?
I do. I still think that. Absolutely.
Willy Gibson joining us right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Again, I've got the Cincinnati Bengals winning it tonight. It's going to be an interesting game. And again, I'm going to be interested to see what the fallout will be if Baker Mayfield cannot pull off that win tonight. I'll be very curious to see what that fallout will be. But, again, I thought it was a little extreme when they said that, they will start looking at whether or not Baker is really the man, like you said, after 2 games in a totally different season than we've ever seen before. Let me take a break. When we come back, we'll do the rapid fire that I talked about. Go through these games because, again, got to say congratulations to Aki Davis. Ferdinand. Was 13-3 in the lunch break weekly, keeping up with the Joneses challenge. He was 13-3. Todd and Chi-Town were second at 11-5. Keisha Kelly was 11-5. So we'll let everybody know what they need to do to get their picks in today, so that you can have a chance to win $50 courtesy of one of our listeners and sponsors on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all new 92.3 FM. It is Throwback Thursday.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real health insurance for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health insurance for you and your family immediately, starting at just $6 a day. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. That's right, for about $6 a day, you can have guaranteed health insurance. And there's dental, vision, and prescription coverage too. You owe it to
you know what?
family to make this free call.
I heard this yesterday. Your guy was talking about when he said Phil Jackson. We were talking about Phil Jackson, and I said, nobody loses the lead like Doc, whatever. He didn't make that comment to the media. He was talking to his team. It was one of those. Actually, it was Game 5 of the 2010 NBA Finals. It was one of those mic'd up coaches things, and he's talking in the huddle and saying, "We know this team likes to give up games in the fourth quarter." He didn't go to the media talking about Doc. He was talking to his team, and they called him on the mic. So, yeah.
Thank you, Willie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all.
I'm left-handed, so you on the left shoulder, bro.
My man. That's all. I saw that. I'm like, I sent you the clip too, because it was like, nah, bro, he's talking to his team.
And you're worried
about. He's supposed to say that. Yeah, he's supposed to say that. I got you.
I'm not gonna apologize to him, but at least I'll know better.
Yeah, he's supposed to say
I'll know
that.
better going forward.
Yeah.
Sugar, 4 more.
Yeah.
But he did call LeBron James.
Yeah, without question. Yeah, without question. Yeah, I don't condone that.
Yeah. And he has gone overboard on the whole analytics and the triangle offense. It's like, bruh, the triangle ain't it no more. You just gotta let that go.
Oh, he ain't coaching. He ain't coaching.
Nah, he likes to tweet.
Call
Yeah.
US Med today.
Oh, does he? I don't follow him.
08
Stand by, 10 seconds.
Yep.
417-51. That's 800-417-0851.
Hey, what's going on? This is Lecrae, and right now you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all. We're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Throwback Thursday. Been an amazing Throwback Thursday. Let me get one more thing in from our earlier guest. Our earlier guest wanted to shout out to Tre'Davious White, who, of course, is the highest-paid cornerback in the NFL, number 27 for the Buffalo Bills. He went to high school at Green Oaks. And our previous guest, Mr. Roy Gibson, wanted to give a shout-out to him. I apologize that we ran out of time, had some technical difficulties. He had a story that he wanted to tell us about Tre'Davious. We'll have to get him back on another time so we can hear that. So let's get to these games, Willie, and I want to hear your thoughts. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, Cincinnati at the team at Northern Ohio. Who you got?
It's just a Washington football team. Yeah, I think it's Cleveland. It's Cleveland in front of 6,000 fans.
Oh boy, they got 6,000 in.
Yeah, 10%. 6,000 fans are in the building tonight.
All right, I wish them well, man. I sure hope that they come out all right.
I understand. No, you don't, but it's okay.
I do. No, I seriously do. Don't do me like that boy up the street, Chris Gordy, man, literally saying that the Big Ten was praying that there would be outbreaks of coronavirus in the SEC, the Big 12, and the ACC so that they wouldn't look stupid. That's one of the most ignorant statements I've heard. And I call that dude by name. Chris Gordy of AM 790 said that, and nobody checked him on it. And that's just ridiculous. I mean, let's not get too beside ourselves because we're trying to talk sports. So, dude needs to be reprimanded. They ain't going to do it. They love that kind of nonsense up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so no, I promise you, I'm not. I mean it when I say I hope they're all right.
Understood.
Atlanta at Dallas. Who you got?
I got Dallas.
I got Atlanta. That's my upset special of the week.
Gotcha.
Okay. I mean, I just feel like Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and my former running back from the Rams, I feel like they're going to break out. I feel like they're going to get it done. All right, Minnesota and the Colts at Indianapolis.
Minnesota.
Me too. All right, Jacksonville at Tennessee. The Gardner Minshew Road Bowl.
Tennessee
too. I got it as well. Baltimore at Houston.
Wow, where am I? Where are you? What station am I on? What city?
It don't matter.
It don't matter. I got Baltimore.
Full truth and nothing but the truth.
I got Baltimore.
Me and you both. Gonna be a long day. Detroit at Green Bay.
Oh, the bad man, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay. Still trying to figure out how Matt Patricia still has a job.
Right, 9-23-1.
Bro,
they fired. Okay. 9-23-1.
Yeah, I'm just why. Okay.
Belichick coaching tree. Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You're aware that Tony Dungy's coaching tree is much better than Bill Belichick's. Like not even close.
Gotcha.
We'll leave that there. Buffalo at Miami.
Buffalo.
I got Miami at home.
Okay.
San Francisco at the Jets.
San Francisco at the Jets.
Yep.
All right. Let's go San Fran.
It's a 12 o'clock start, East Coast.
They're staying over. They're here. They're at the Greenback because they play Jets and Giants back to back. So we'll go Jets.
49ers.
I'm picking the Jets.
49ers. Rams.
Oh, whoa. Back that up. No. I'm picking the 49ers. No. Adam Gase is the coach, man. No.
You are on the books for the Jets over the 49ers. I know your pastor is listening, so you
strike the record. Strike that from the record. The 49ers. My bad. I'm tripping. No.
I was like, no. Good Lord, what in the world?
Yeah, my bad.
Rams at Philly.
Rams.
I'm going to say Rams as well because I don't believe in anything in Philly. All right, Giants at Chicago.
Man, a lesser of two.
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chicago scratching out a win at home. Washington, the Washington football team at Arizona.
I'm going to go with my Buckeye, Dwayne Haskins.
I know you're going with Haskins.
Yeah, let's go Washington.
You know,
Yeah.
and hear me when I say the only reason why I don't want to root for Arizona is because of their head coach.
Hopkins. Oh, I thought it was Hopkins. Okay.
No.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury. How he got that job, man. He needs to be. We need to move on. But they're gonna be pretty good this year. I'm going with Arizona. KC at the Chargers.
KC.
I got the Chargers doing something special at home.
Really?
Yeah. Ugly game. Don't know how it's going to come out, but I'm kidding. I got the Kansas City Chiefs.
I was going to say, well, they're used to the crowd. They're used to the crowd in L.A. I'm just saying.
Pandemic ain't going to bother them at all. They used to having a handful of nothing in there.
Yeah.
I'm going Kansas City. New England and Seattle going to be an interesting game. Who you got?
Yeah. Man, I got to go Seattle. Cam's going to ball out, but I got to go Seattle.
I am too. I want Cam to ball out. I want Cam to have a great game. But, man, I don't know, man. I'm really feeling the Seahawks this year. I like Russ.
Cam is grateful, man. You saw the workouts, right?
Yeah.
The workouts.
Yep. And then Monday night, you got New Orleans at Vegas to take on the Raiders.
Man, if Michael Thomas doesn't play, I got to go Las Vegas.
I don't know. He's not going to play. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks.
Las Vegas.
I'm going to stick with the Saints. I'm going to give them 1 week. Let me see what they do without Michael Thomas, and then I'll go from there after that. So that's what we got. Let's run through these again, just real quick, no commentary. You got Cleveland. I've got Cincinnati. You've got Dallas. I've got Atlanta. We both have the Vikings. We both have Tennessee. We both have Baltimore. We both have Green Bay. You've got Buffalo. I've got Miami. You've got the Jets. I've got the 49ers. You've got the Jets. I've got the 49ers.
No, sir.
I tried to give you a chance. I just wrote it on the books.
Yeah, bro.
All right, we both got the 49ers. You've got the Rams. I've got the Rams. Oh, you know what? I forgot Pittsburgh and Denver.
Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger looked great. He looked great. I must admit. Yep.
Pittsburgh. And then Carolina and Tampa Bay.
Man, Brady doesn't go 0-2. It's Tampa.
In Tampa. I'm going to give Tampa Bay the win there. And then did you say we both said the Bears?
Mm-hmm.
You said Washington. I said Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
We both said Kansas City. We both said Seattle.
Yes.
And you said the Raiders. I say the Saints.
Indeed.
For those who want to participate in the lunch break, Keeping Up with the Joneses weekly Pick'em challenge, and I made it long like that for a reason. I got to have your picks in by today at 6 p.m. Give me all of your picks for the games by 6 p.m. today, Central that is, and then I need to have who you think is going to win the Monday night game plus the final score of the game. Not the combined score. I need to know 15-13, 27-9, whatever you think the final score is going to be, along with the winner. That will be the tiebreaker, and we have tiebreakers almost every week. Again, congratulations to Ferdinand. He won the opening week, and the $50 weekly prize was courtesy of Royal Locks and Crowns, 8401 Westheimer, Houston, Texas, 77063. Give them a call. Tell them you heard it on the lunch break and support them. Ladies, men, if you get locks, go get them over at Royal Locks and Crowns. Tell them AJ and the lunch break sent you. 832-803-5756. That's 832-803-5756. We'll support another one of our local businesses or one of the businesses that supported us. And Lunchbreakers support these people because they put up the money for us to be able to do this weekly challenge. So we want to be very supportive of them. Willie, you going to send in some picks this week? I know it's not gambling. We're not gambling. We're just trying to see who can keep up with the Joneses because I pick at about a 75% clip.
Wow. Impressive.
I am impressed.
Yeah, I see.
Willie, this is impressive.
Indeed.
You going to send in some picks?
Yeah, what we just did. I stand on that.
I'm not ready to have your picks. Willie, send them to me.
All right, I got you.
Let me tell you how you can get them to me. So you text text them to me at, and I'm just messing with you, Will. Don't mind me. You can text them to me at 832-403-5005. Everyone listening, you text me all of your winners plus the winner of that Monday night game with the final score at 832-403-5005. I'll reply back, got him, or my intern will reply back, got him. Or you can email them, aj@kyoksports.com. That's aj@kyoksports.com. We had 35 participants, and 15 of them were over 500. 15 of them were 8 or 8 and better. All right, so let's see what we do this week. Let's see what we do. At the end of this, at the end of the 16 games, the top 6 will compete for $500 cash.
Oh, wow.
Top 6 will compete for $500 cash. Last year, a guy by the name of Chi-Town won it all.
From Buffalo?
Yeah, see, there you go. You silly.
Yeah.
First time we did it, my frat brother, Delano Burton, my noob, he won it out of New Orleans, and he was funny, man. He sent us a video and everything. Yeah, man, I got my $500 Visa gift card, and I just want to thank everybody. And if you need help with your picks, let me know. I also know college basketball and college football too, if you need help.
Wow.
I was like, well, that's my noob. So we'll see who'll wear the crown this year. So Willie, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, my brother.
I appreciate it. Willy Gibson on Facebook, and also Will Gibson 7 on IG and Twitter.
Are you a good follower on Twitter, Willie? Are you funny?
I'm a good follower on Twitter, absolutely. I'm an impressive follower on Twitter.
Am I following you on Twitter? Let me see something.
No, you're not.
What's up with that? Why are you just now telling me this in open mic, bro?
Listen, I don't solicit followers.
Wait, what?
Either Will Gibson 7.
Will Gibson
7.
It's a bunch of Will Gibsons.
7.
What's 7 for?
It's only one now, right?
I see you now.
Yeah.
There's a Will Gibson 7.5 that's got his locked. He must be getting your comments and stuff.
Nah.
All right, I'm following you now. Don't block me either. If you block, I had a homeboy block me, man. Why do grown men block each other on social media?
And I'm being followed by Let's Break KYOK. That's love. All right. Say it again. Why do grown men
block each other on social media?
Do they? That's the thing.
I didn't know it was a thing until me. Like, I was like, wait a minute. You can just stop following me. You can unfriend me, but you blocking me? Like,
I called a couple people out and I got blocked as well. I find it a badge of honor that if you block me, if I block you, well, I'll tell you offline. Somebody prominent that blocked me because I called them out on something. I'll tell you later.
Rob Parker has me blocked.
Really?
Yeah, Rob Parker has me blocked, bro.
I'll do it. What's my guy? Black Sports Online.
Oh yeah, Robert Littall.
Yeah, he blocked me. He blocked me.
What did you do to Robert?
I'll tell you later.
I've had Robert on the show.
Yeah, he blocked me. He didn't like something.
And again, I'm not a fan for what Robert had going on right there, especially with the with the ladies, Fernandez and some of the other folks. I mean, I know folks that had to deal with Robert, and I denounce every bit of that: sexual harassment, disrespect, putting down women and not providing a healthy workplace, not paying them for their work. I denounce that 100%. And there's no exceptions to that. There's no exceptions to that. 100%. So, but yeah, I'm surprised to hear that. I'm surprised to hear that.
Yeah, well, I'll say he called out. He said some things about Magic's son, and we know the situation with Magic's son. And do I condone it? No, but at the same time, there's a line. There's a line, and I felt he crossed it, and I said something to him, and he blocked me.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we're in rare company. I got a guy who used to call himself my brother that has blocked me. I ain't gonna call his name because he's real sensitive. And then I got Robert Parker who has blocked me. So I got you 2-1. So will you be my friend? Will you follow me back?
I already follow you.
Oh, okay. So you were following me and I wasn't following you?
Yeah.
Call me out on that.
Nah, bro, I don't do that.
You didn't check me on that, bro.
Nah, bro, we don't do that. We're grown
All right,
men.
Well, listen, man, if you got time next Thursday, we'll have you back, man, because I really enjoy chopping it up with you. We'll try and get you in the first hour and rock it like that if that's good or whatever is comfortable for you.
Oh, we'll make it happen. I appreciate it.
Willy Gibson, y'all, I got to go. I got to get Sybil Wilkes on. Willie, have a good rest of your day. Go Bengals.
You as well.
Who day?
Member of the media, I'm impartial.
Nah, I'm not. Y'all, we'll talk to you later, Willie. All right, let me get those books on and get a coronavirus update, and then we'll wrap it up after this. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love y'all. There's nothing you can do about it. Wear your masks. I don't care what the president says. Wear your mask, wash your hands, give people 6 feet, and when you see that racism, kill it. Not the person, the racism. Y'all, here's Sybil Wilkes. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today about the.
All right, brother. Take care, man.
Hey, boss. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
That, according to mental health experts with the Center for Law and Social Policy. The issues have been exacerbated by a lack of connectedness due to isolation, economic struggles, increased stress due to police brutality, and bullying. Federal health agencies and the Defense Department released a plan to make coronavirus vaccines available for free to all Americans, even as polls show doubt about taking a vaccine when one becomes available. The vaccination campaign is set to possibly begin this year or early next year. As millions of out-of-work people stopped receiving extra federal unemployment relief, retail sales grew little in August. Despite that small growth, data shows that shoppers spent more at restaurants and bars and purchased more furniture, electronics, cars, and clothes. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. I gotta say thank you to all my special guests. Willy Gibson was phenomenal. Roy Gibson in the first hour was phenomenal, and you guys always make it a great show. So, y'all, thank you for always hanging out and giving us love on the lunch break. Again, I rep Grambling. I repped Grambling today. Let me give y'all a little history about Grambling for those who did not know. Grambling University, located in Grambling, Louisiana, founded in 1901. President is Richard J. Is it Galat Jr.? Provost is Dr. Connie Walton. And again, they've got how many students? How many students do they have there? Yeah, about 5,230 students there at Grambling. And the motto is where everybody is somebody. A great, great school. I have known about Grambling for a long, long time. The Black and Gold, the Grambling State Tigers. And, you know, if you have a young person that's looking for a good school to try and go to, Grambling is definitely one that you should consider. I'll be rocking another HBCU on next Thursday. So y'all tune in for that. We're going to do them every Thursday. I'll tell you a little bit about the school, give them some love, and we'll try and raise some awareness about the HBCUs. Trust me, the Alabamas and the Clemsons and the Nebraskas, they don't need our help, but the HBCUs do. So I'm definitely going to be rocking them every Thursday, and I'll give you some information about a good HBCU that you can possibly, have your child or grandchild, niece or nephew go to. All right, y'all, not this, definitely this. I do. I love y'all. Y'all take care.